we need to take an episode break? Yeah, I was like, if we need to wave again and say hello, we can do that. Hi, everyone.
Sure, let's do that real quick. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Next Stop Module. We are all in the same clothes because we never went home. We've been gaming for a week.
In our office. This is not our homes.
This is our life now. All right. We're going to skip the regular recap this time. We are going to recap, but we're not going to recap like the game itself. Instead, I'm going to share a few thoughts, and feel free to chime in if I miss anything or just something, speaks to you. But I want to discuss Mona in particular. So instead of recapping the actual plot, we're going to recap kind of everything she's done. Does that make sense?
She's been fishy.
It's like
she's not a vampire.
the way I see it is, while the objective is kind of to get her to her house, the real objective is to figure out what's going on, and getting her to her house is arguably maybe the easiest way to do that. But also, just. And I want to hear guys' theories. So, anyways, I'll start. I got a list here. So Mona. She was clearly planning on actually staying at the Lucky Break during the solstice. Like, that part doesn't seem like it was a ruse. It seemed like she was genuinely surprised when, like, her servant came in dead.
Yeah. Plus, someone got to tour through her suite, so.
Closet, yes. She had quite a few outfits for one night.
And a half-eaten sandwich.
It's true.
Yeah.
So she was actually, she had stuff there. She was in, like, the biggest high roller suite, I believe. So,
maybe, like, every hour she could change into a different outfit.
Sounds reasonable.
Or maybe she's just so rich that, like, 6 outfits is the minimum for any kind of trip.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, and you don't necessarily have to change every hour on the hour, but maybe you don't know what would work best with the ambiance till you get there.
Exactly.
So you just have to bring a reasonable number of outfits.
True.
Not everyone can use Druidcraft and Prestidigitation to just literally change their clothing on a whim.
Well, I really like that, because to tell you the truth, she was wearing the same outfit as Calf, only in a different color. So maybe that's exactly what it was. Like, she didn't know what the lighting was going to be like.
Yeah.
And it's like,
come in and all of a sudden your pink dress doesn't look pink.
Right. It's like you're in autumn.
Lavender.
You're in autumn, but the lighting turns you into a spring. And so then it's like you have to redo the whole aesthetic. So I think that's where
she determined a lot of people would be wearing blue, so she decided to go with a pink option, just so that way she'd stand out.
Wait a minute, guys. I just remembered. This isn't Next Top Model. This is Next Top Module. We got to stop talking about fashion.
It's funny because
wrong show.
I try to like search for us online. It's like, did you mean Next Top Model? And I'm like, I sure didn't.
This is the problem with trying to have.
Google.
This is the problem with trying to have a clever pun for your name. It seemed like a good idea at the time, and then it's like, yeah.
No, I like it. Everybody I've told the name to, they're like, that's clever, and it's cute, and they love it. Just so you know.
Oh, thank you. Hooray. So, back to Mona. So she played dumb about Calf being in her dress until
I thought we were great friends
until she needed it, and then she kind of blackmailed you, which I find it funny that no one's brought up again. But I guess Calf just kind of accepted it, like
Sometimes someone is out.
It seems like pretty standard hell bureaucracy.
Now,
yeah, that's not that strange.
That's fair. She genuinely seems to want to get back to the manor. That doesn't seem like it's fake either. She claims it's because she's concerned about her brother, Donald, which, that has yet to be verified for sure, but she's
probably the vampire.
Like I say, there was a genuine surprise. Now this is something we haven't discussed. At the casino, like when she wanted to leave, she acted like she was completely ignorant about like the solstice being dangerous. Yet she did still make sure that she went with people. And if you guys think about it, she's never let you guys out of her sight. Even when she ran away with Clip, she only went like a block away.
There's also the fact that she, her one servant had to come to her. She doesn't have a retinue, which is like Like who shows up there without a retinue? What kind of lame ass group of people? Sorry.
You're fine. All I ask is PG-13, so you're good.
Wait, that was our one we're allowed per game. Sorry, guys.
I like to avoid F-bombs. Other than that, I'm actually not that picky. So, like I say, PG-13. It's one of those things I meant to tell everybody the first game. It just has never come up. So good job, Jared.
I haven't cracked this game
Well,
yet.
It's true.
I'd like to take credit for that, but you continually had me roll perception checks until Yinmu noticed it. So that was something you specifically pointed out to us.
That's true.
But I remembered, so
Hey,
take credit for that.
I didn't have it on my list this time, so there you go. She played Helpless Damsel right up until the Dragonborn. By the way, does anybody remember his name is Mace Threadbare? I think I've only mentioned it like the very first game. And I think we've just called him the Dragonborn like every game since then.
I just assumed he was played by Samuel L. Jackson. And his like a little purple gem on his
Threadbare, not Windu, and he only sounds like Samuel L. Jackson because he's a lizard person. Anyways, Mace Threadbare. Mona was playing Helpless right until he was literally about to knock her out. And then all of a sudden she casts a fireball, which is another thing you guys haven't really questioned too much or brought up. But, you know. What's a little magic among friends?
We're very accepting of this situation.
I mean, Cat has decapitated people. We don't even blink an eye. Oh,
It's always
decapitated.
my favorite thing with players is when players are like, well, this is clearly a trap, but what are you going to do?
Let's go.
I'm literally like, you guys can do anything you want. If you want to just not go on an adventure.
Flexible. It's important to be flexible.
If you just want to not go on an adventure, you can just stay back at the hotel if you want to eat breadsticks. And you guys are like, well, I guess we got to go walk into the trap.
So I had to double check, but Fireball is still a level 3 spell in 5th edition. Which puts her somewhere around level 5-ish.
On the game it actually happened, I chose my words carefully. I did not choose my words carefully just now. It was a fire-like spell. It wasn't necessarily specifically Fireball. If you'd like to know what spell it was, you can roll an Arcana check. And I'd be happy to.
Burning Hands or something.
Could be Firebolt.
I mean,
something.
Even if it was specifically Fireball.
Yeah.
Arcana is not Yunmu's specialty, so.
The important thing is maybe let's not fight Mona.
But she definitely knocked over a powerful opponent that had just killed Yinmu in one hit. So.
Well, Yinmu got a pretty good groin strike. Very solid.
I will give you guys, because this is actually something that should be obvious to your characters. I will just go ahead and tell you it wasn't the Fireball spell, because the Fireball spell is an area of effect that would have hit like the horse and like multiple. Yeah, it would have hit several of you. And this was a directed spell, so it wasn't Fireball specifically. Just a ball of fire leapt from her hands.
Right.
The one human didn't pick light as a cantrip. But I did pick 2 cantrips specifically for fashion reasons.
Nice.
I told you before that was cool, but now it's especially cool because I found out there's actually an item in Xanathar's guide that's specifically just the Staff of Flowers. And all it does is just lets you grow flowers constantly.
Oh,
Nice.
I need this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought about giving it to you, and I was like, I kind of already have with the Druid Craft, so.
But like, there's no reason not to have more flowers. It's not like you can have too many magical flowers.
It's true.
Because it sounds like if there's flowers like plural, I feel like that would speed up the process as opposed to like, all right, let me cast Druid Craft 24 times in a row.
Well, my thought is I'm giving you the item now, but instead of a staff, it's just your robe.
No.
So it's the cloth that
flowers.
just
The robe of many flowers.
right. So okay, so let's just play.
Huzzah.
All right.
You can move through your compatriots, though. So if you want to actually move, like, if you want to walk through Thistle and move, like, here, you could do that. I don't know if you want to, but you could.
I guess I can. It seems like we're winning this already. Surely this will never go poorly. Me walking into melee has never done terrible things before. I've got to prove myself after going down last time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you did pretty well last time. I mean,
What is a yuppie druid?
So if I can, I would like to bonus action shillelagh my other baton.
No problem.
Pull it out, walk up, and we'll see if we can't.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. I need to use my bonus action to do my second attack. So that's fine. I'll just whack him with the one.
Okay.
Or attempt to.
When you move into the ghoul's range, as a reaction, before you can even attack on him, he reaches out with a hand and grabs you by the wrist.
Rude.
Oh no.
He looks at you and he says in this raspy voice of death, and by the way, his breath is the worst thing you've ever smelled in your entire life. He says, Yenmu, the Lady of Worms, sends her regards. And this huge black cloud of smoke shoots out. Calf, Thistle, and Yenmu, will you guys please give me Constitution saving throws?
I
Constitution
regret
save.
everything.
Yes. Constitution.
Oh, and Clip, I guess you're right in there too. So all for you. Sorry, I forgot.
Well, that is fortuitous. I've got a 22.
You're fine.
I got a 10.
I got a 6.
I also got a 10.
Okay. Three of you are feeling very sick in the core of your being.
Uh-oh.
Thistle, you feel very light and happy in the core of your being, like you're in love.
Wonderful.
You never stopped being charmed, and I was just didn't technically remind you at the beginning of the game, so I figured
That is
that
true.
now was a good
I
time.
still have it in my status notes, so.
Yeah, I just figured now was a fun time
I wasn't
to.
gonna say I still had it, but now that you brought it up.
Oh, the game master did not forget. He just didn't bring it up either.
So did the other ghoul die when it exploded?
I will get to that in one moment.
Oh no.
But-
No, it was one of the mutant zombies.
Spoiler alert, yes, it did.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh, so we got splody ghouls now, you guys.
Ghoul bombs.
Hey, we
Alright.
got some dialogue and a cryptic clue out of it.
That's
Lady
true.
of Worms.
Okay, so the three of you,
Way to piss off the ghouls there.
the three of you that failed are now poisoned, but being poisoned in D&D 5th edition is not like being poisoned in a video game. You don't lose hit points every turn.
Okay.
You have disadvantage on your attack rolls and your ability checks.
Okay.
And so after he like expels like his soul power, his physical form just crumples to the ground, and you guys see the other ghoul take off.
He's running.
So they just wanted to give us a message.
Oh, I thought that would scroll coolly off the screen, but it moved the screen, darn it. That looked cooler in my head.
Alright, so I would, first thing first, do I recognize the Lady of Worms?
History checks?
You've never heard of her. It's not ringing a bell, but you can certainly give me a history check. Like, if you have heard of it, it's going to be like something from like, your studies, not like a person you know personally.
Oh, I got a 20.
All right, you got a 20.
Very nice.
Not
No.
natural, but
Oh,
I
man.
do not know who that is, and I
20 for that.
Because I like to reward 20s, you do not know who the Lady of Worms is, but because I like to reward 20s, I will give you a little more about ghouls. Your suspicion. So, like, zombies hanging out in the graveyard and Waterdeep is not unheard of, even when it's not the winter solstice. It's not unheard of just to have a stray zombie, because that kind of thing happens when you live in a world with dragons and dungeons. But ghouls, it's not just like a corpse came up out of the grave. Ghouls, usually, if you remember correctly, originate from the Underdark. And the fact that those ghouls seemed organized and seemed like they had a mission, you think that they were from the Underdark. So while you don't know who the Lady of Worms is and you've never heard of it, if you had to like make a random guess, maybe it's Underdark related. That's all you got.
Okay, so the next question is, what do I know about the Underdark?
You know that it's dark and that it's underground. Why don't you give me another roll?
Is Yinmu sharing this information?
Yeah, I'm kind of coughing and gasping, and like I don't know who that is, but
Well, it was whispered, so did we even overhear it?
Yeah, you guys were all right around him, so everybody
he
heard it.
shouted it all over our faces.
He said it in a raspy voice, a raspy,
I raspy, not whisper.
death toll. Got a
I got a
what?
13 on that history roll.
Okay. You know the general things any Waterdavian or anybody in Faerun would know about the Underdark. You know that it's a huge network of caverns, interconnected caverns, that span basically the whole continent. That there's a lot of undead and poisonous and just generally foul creatures that live down there. You know that there are some caste systems and stuff. You know that the Drow have a big society. You know that the Durgar dwarves, the dark dwarves as they're known, have a big society down there. You're sure that there's monarchs of Underdark cities that you haven't heard of. I mean, the people from the surface world tend to avoid that as much as possible as a general rule. So, I mean, if that was some sort of like nobility or ruler or general, you know.
Could it be Mona? And that's what she's trying to get away?
This seems like a very convoluted way to spray a bunch of poison in our faces. Okay. Well, what do I know about this poison and getting rid of it? Is it just something we're gonna have to time out? Is it something I should roll for? Or?
Why don't you give me a roll? Why don't you give me an arcane? Well, a history or arcana. I'll let you pick.
Was it history or would it be medicine?
Technically medicine. My medicine's better. If I can
Give me a medicine roll.
Yeah, Thistle was gonna roll that too. So.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, and I would like some help, healing,
16.
if possible.
And 13 for Thistle.
All right, Yinmu. You know that ghouls are associated with a condition called grave rot.
That's what I thought.
Lovely.
It's generally considered bad. So you're not sure if you have it or, maybe like poisoned is the first stage and then grave rot's the second stage kind of thing. Like if you don't get it treated right away, it gets worse kind of thing. But either way, you'd love to find a clinic.
Okay. Oh wait, Calf, how are you looking?
I feel hurt, like 4 damage points worth of hurt.
Well, have
Jesus
some
Christ.
berries. I will offer you 2 good berries.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to consume those.
They are exquisitely
Thank you
sweet.
for the soul.
What's that?
They are exquisitely sweet.
Oh, and then am I back to
That's 1 hit point apiece, so it gives you 2.
1 each.
1 each? Okay.
Yeah, but it's
Wonderful.
it's the sweetest natural fruit you've ever tasted.
I feel better already. Like,
Just puts a little pep in your step, you know.
yeah.
Just you got a slightly sunnier outlook on life right now.
Like I can shake off some of those bruises and cuts.
Yeah.
But not the terrible poison.
No, that's a separate problem.
That's a bit beyond me right now.
Okay. And our paladin's is he stuck on this too? Stumped?
He basically got everything that Yinmu got.
He brought someone back from the dead.
That's true, but I don't have anything that'll work on poisons yet.
Okay. That's fair.
At least if I'm reading this right, I don't.
Shall we go catch up with Mona while we rot to death?
Yeah. So how's
Let's touch. I can
I'll
heal
check in with
wounds.
my familiar and see
Okay.
if I can figure out where Mona's at.
Yeah, I can only really heal wounds. I don't think I can do anything for poison or grave rot.
Would Cap know anything about grave rot since she comes from a hell dimension?
It's a hell dimension. It's not an undead dimension, so you don't instantly know. But feel free to make a roll. You can make a history check.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Everyone looks at Kath and asks about that, and Kath opens her eyes and she's like, "We are not undead."
I got a 7, so.
All right. No, you don't. Infernal, not undead.
Separate thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, Yinmu, you have your owl fly around for a minute, and at first, he doesn't spot anything, or she. I actually don't know how your owl identifies. I'm sorry.
It's a spirit, so I don't know how it identifies either.
Well, they fly around and they don't see anything right away. At first, you think she must have moved out of range, and then you realize, as you look a little closer, that she's kind of stuffed herself between two buildings and is hiding.
With a horse.
Mm-hmm. You don't see the horse, actually.
What?
You only see Mona.
Okay, well, Mona looks like she's this way, so
Let's away.
I'm gonna back up on the roofs.
maybe she can shed some light on this whole Lady of Worms
She
situation.
seems to have had a bad reaction to ghouls.
I feel like we all just had a bad reaction to ghouls.
Well, this is the first time I've seen her frightened, so either she doesn't like ghouls, she doesn't like these ghouls, or she knows something about the worm lady that these ghouls were obviously sent by.
All right.
Here we go.
You guys come up on her, and as soon as she sees you, she tries to act like she wasn't hiding.
And Thistle's gonna try a bluff here, and I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna be like, "So Mona, why would the Lady of Worms be sending minions after you? Oh, by the way, she sends her regards." I'm totally gonna try and make you think that this was her fault.
Okay.
And see if it gets anything out of her.
All right. I'm not going to have you make a deception check. I'm actually going to go ahead and have you make an insight check to read her reaction.
Insight. Okay.
She's also charmed still.
Do the rest of us
makes
get
a difference.
checks as well?
Yeah, sure.
18 on insight.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can all make a check.
Got a 21.
Right.
Ooh. Woo.
Nice.
Her
I got a 10.
in
Why?
in her usual way, you're starting to get that she's very careful about what she lets slip.
Uh-huh.
She says, "Well, that sounds to me, sugar, like one more reason to get moving on." But as you read her facial expressions, it's blank. You don't think it rang a bell.
All right. Fair enough. It was just a thought. All right. So Thistle's now watching you move too, because she's like, "What is this dandy brought down on this group?"
She comes out from between the buildings and she goes around to the front of the house. That's looks like an abandoned. You know if it's just been looted or if it's like a long abandoned house.
Uh-huh.
She opens the front door and Terrence comes trotting out, looking glum.
Aw, Terrence. Thank goodness you're okay.
What do you guys want to do?
How far away are we from her destination? Still a ways?
We're not halfway there yet, guys. Because I remember the graveyard was not halfway.
You're technically moving away a little bit by staying on the main road and not going into the
Good.
That's the ghoul that ran away. I'm going to go ahead and erase him. But she is over here. I believe I said it before that it was 144.
Okay. Well, I say we continue forward. Maybe pick it up to a jog.
Yeah, I'm ready for this day to be over.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
you guys...
once we hit the market, I think we can afford to start taking some side streets, but...
All right.
The main street so far has proven pretty reliable for now.
It's about 2:00 in the morning at this point. You guys have been traveling for quite a bit now, and you guys pick up the pace. You start moving at a faster clip. Kind of looking around.
In the morning, I'm gonna be losing my window to get back.
It's yeah, you got till about 6. So, as you guys move along, is there anything else? I mean, obviously, I'm going to assume that you're like looking out for danger and that kind of thing. Is there anything else you guys want to do? You guys want to have a conversation about anything or look through your items?
Kath might voice her concern about, hey, I'm with you guys, but I also gotta go home.
I'm right there with you. I gotta go
My mom said I had to be home by 6.
I mean, at this point, after everything we've been through to get Mona home, I feel like we should at least see this through.
Thistle's willing to blur the lines, but he kind of gave his word, so I think he's in for the long haul. I don't think he would reconsider.
All right. So if we run into more danger, I think Kath would be more interested in running if possible. But I guess it depends on if they're ghouls and if they'll get tired.
All right. You guys move up this way with no incident.
I did slice through at least 3 things tonight, so those are good things that have happened.
Do you want to start moving? Oh, nope, too much. Sorry. You guys want to start moving right from here, or do you guys want to move upwards a little farther away from the graveyard?
I would move right from there.
Yeah, this looks like it's got a fairly direct route.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I'm not hearing any no's.
Let's do it.
And I also wanted to ask Thistle, did you want to look at your scroll that you picked up yet?
No, I'm gonna wait until
Look
we actually
and
get
jog.
He's gonna wait till we all die of ghoul rot before finding its cure disease.
I'm gonna give it a glance, but I'm not gonna try and actually like read through it all. Just see if I can determine what it is. What do you want, Arcana?
Yeah, it's gonna be an Arcana.
That's a 15.
Okay.
15 on Arcana. That's not great.
All right. So first of all, I want to make it clear. This is not a wizard scroll that you found in like a wizard's observatory that's written in that own wizard's like dialect and handwriting with his own notes, where you've got to like decipher.
Well, it's a shop, so I figure it was, consumer scrolls.
Exactly. This was written for anyone to be able to cast, so it's actually going to be a little easier than a normal scroll. You actually could have rolled lower than that and still figured it out on this particular scroll.
Okay.
Because of the fact that it is from a shop, so it's meant, for everyone's use.
Got ya.
And you are able to determine what kind of spell it is. It is a. Let me get the name right here. It is a scroll of truth. It allows the person using it to cast the spell Zone of Truth, which casts a 15-foot cone in which everyone in it must answer honestly.
Very nice.
Is half-truths technically being honest?
I will read you what it says because it actually addresses that.
Sweet. I was just thinking, like, if you had pixies in Zone of Truth, they won't exactly tell you the truth, but they will tell you kind of like a half-truth.
Oh, they'll tell you the truth, but not all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the fey creatures are that way.
An affected creature is aware of the spell and can avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such creatures can be evasive in their answers as long as it remains within the boundary of the truth. So they can't they can't say something that is technically untrue, but they can be evasive, and they can, word their answers carefully, basically.
So this scroll should be called the Scroll of Lawyer Truth. That's what it should be called.
You hand it to Calf.
All right. Well, if he casts it, he's not going to find out much about me, I guess. Not like I have any secrets.
I'm going to sit on this for a while. But I am gonna let everyone know. Yeah, this isn't gonna help us with the grave
rot.
rot. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
On we go.
So you guys continue on.
We're making great time. Maybe.
You're headed towards 144 there.
That's not a bad route.
I'm just assuming. Tell me if you want to go a different way, but I'm assuming.
Yeah, Balls Lane looks good.
Unless, I mean, you guys can cut to the buildings in the back ways if you want, but you've made it pretty clear you want to stay
When
on the.
we hit the next intersection, before we're
Right
out
here?
in that intersection,
Yeah.
I do want to do a perception check.
Okay.
This looks like a crossroads where a lot of crap had happened. So,
Okay. Hit me.
well, that was no. I got like 8. Sorry, guys.
Anybody else want to roll?
18.
Sure.
All right. You don't see any danger. This is a place where you're kind of in a corner where there was 3 shops, and so there's a lot of stuff lying around from looted stores, as there has been a lot of broken glass. Excuse me. You see some various items. There's like a bag of sugar that's been ripped open and is all over the place. You think it's sugar. I mean, it looks at a glance like sugar. Could be cocaine. Who knows?
I'll do an investigation, see if there's any stuff that could be salvaged for, say, rations or supplies or anything.
Yeah, sure. Give me an investigation.
Get down there and snort some of it.
Plus, that one's better. That's more like what I want.
Did you say snort some of it? What did you say, Jared?
That's what this was like. Oh, I need to investigate this. It's just down there.
Oh, kind of druid, eh?
Investigate the void stuff.
It's the same color as cocaine. Close enough for me.
You're that kind of druid, eh? 18 plus 1, 19.
All right. You look around and you see a lot of like broken toys, destroyed food. One of the places is clearly a toy store. One of the places was clearly a grocery shop. And so there's a lot of ruined food and a lot of toys and stuff scattered around. But you do find one item of interest as you're rummaging through. You pull up what looks like almost a little hacky sack or a little beanbag with a little cork on one end to hold it. And you know this is actually a weapon called a sap.
Sap. Oh, I like saps.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Are there any more croissant witches?
Why don't you give me an investigation?
I rolled a 10 looking for
20. I got 20.
Hey.
Not natural.
Okay, and I'm sorry, Clip, what did you say?
Said I rolled a 10, or I got a 10 looking for catnip, seeing if there's any like.
There's sadly no catnip.
Well, no, it was more of one of those. If there's catnip around, then my kitten instincts are gonna take over.
Mm.
But if there was not, then
You-
it's me trying to keep my.
You do find some bread that's muddy on one end of the loaf, but you're pretty sure you could just rip that off.
I am down for that.
All right. With a roll of 20, you find 3 croissant witches.
Yes!
I love the priorities
She's
and
just
what we're
gonna
all
like
looking
one
for.
bite, one bite, one bite.
This will stave off grave rot.
Yinmu just sees
One more
everyone
thing
like
from my stomach.
rolling around.
Eating food off the ground.
And I think it's time to go stop using my sight again. Let's see what the owl has to see. Let's go back to soaring above the ground.
All right. It looks like you're actually a pretty straight shot to the mansion. You don't see anything blocking your way. It's almost too good to be true.
Quick point of interest. There's this stair-step pattern on the south side of the mansion.
Oh, that's just
Is
that's
that all,
buildings.
like, that's buildings?
Yeah, that's like the servants' quarters and like the
And
stables
then,
and stuff.
Like this area, it looks like 3 trees. Is that like the grounds of the mansion? That
Yeah.
big blue area?
Yeah. This is a big, basically it's a big piece of land there. Most of these are just like, little cottages or little houses and stuff. But you guys have moved up into the ritzy neighborhoods now.
Okay.
And that is like she has a whole plot of land, not just one house.
No wonder the bakery is full of croissant witches. We in bougie land.
It's true.
I say we move up to about where Golden Serpent Street, where the actual letters end on the map.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you wouldn't mind using your owl sight to sort of scout that area. And it might even be worth having Clip go back up to the roof, see if Clip gets any other eyeballs.
All right.
What do you guys think?
Let's roll.
Well, I'm already steering off in the blank direction that kind of lets you know I'm already doing that. But
So, you guys are being very careful and very prudent, and I will tell you,
I'm so proud of us.
hey, I'm proud of you guys. You say nothing happens? That is correct. I will tell you as the DM, it's actually clear. You guys make the rest of your way. Apparently in the stolen silence, I've tried to encourage some conversation here, but you guys have no interest in questioning Mona any further. So, as you come up...
Hypothetically, we could use the truth scroll and ask her about the...
Oh, I tried to get you guys to do that 2 hours ago. It's too late for that now. I gave you a truth scroll 2 hours ago, but nobody wanted to use it then. It's too late now. So, as you guys come up...
Okay, here is Thistle's thoughts on that. Thistle doesn't think we're likely to get much more information out of Mona directly, but he's thinking if we use it on the staff of the house, the lackeys for the manor always know all the dirt. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking we use it once we get her to the manor and go inside and can question all the people that work for her that know all her dark evil secrets.
I'd also point out Yinmu was one of the person who was the one person guaranteed not to notice her reaction to the ghouls.
That's true.
Yeah, she didn't seem like she had any, like, we don't have any reason to not believe her, it seems like.
Yeah, well, but again, there was her reaction to the ghouls. Like, as soon as you like, people who recognize, I mean, most people don't recognize the sound of ghoul assassins. That's a very specific thing to be recognized and be scared of.
That too, and although we've determined she's not a vampire, the fact that she was on the outs with another paladin has still got Thistle kind of cautious. He's new to the job, but he kind of thinks that, you know, paladins tend to be kind of cued in on evil stuff, so he's not entirely trusting them. That's where Thistle stands. I don't know. Maybe he quietly expresses that to the rest of you as he gets closer to the manor, hopefully out of earshot of Mona. I'm not sure if he could do that with Lin Yu, because, you know, he's up on the horse with owl vision, but...
Based on my exposure to Paladin so far, I figured the opposite of Paladin is law-abiding, not crazy people.
We're all having some alignment shifts.
But yeah, that's where Thistle stands. He's still not entirely trustworthy of this lady after the evening. He still thinks there's something darker going on here. Oh, all right. Do we try and go inside? Should we sneak in through the back and see?
What do we see?
I mean, I assume Mona's going to let us in until the end of the night. I don't think she's gonna be like, "Thanks for coming here." Just shut the door in our face.
She might. Someone did steal her dress.
Matt, I can't tell if you're being very still and enjoying this, or if your video has cut out. I think your video has cut out.
It did indeed.
Okay.
I'm trying to get my camera back up again.
Matt, your ventriloquist skills are really good. You're just the best ventriloquist.
You're like locked in this pose, like with your hand on your chin, where it looks like you're just totally listening in earnest to everything you say.
I can actually see it because I can see on the broadcast screen. But
that's great.
Yeah. So a couple things. Number one, I just adore you guys that you've chosen where you're 2 seconds from going into the building to like question and go, is this a bad idea? But in all seriousness, as you guys come up on the mansion, I want everybody to give me a perception check.
All right.
Still working on the camera, by the way.
13.
Okay.
14.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 19.
15.
Okay.
Man, I'm getting a lot of teens tonight.
I think my camera might be done for the night, guys. I think the rest of it might be just me. Well, now my picture's not even there.
You can be the voice from above.
Oh.
So,
True dungeon master.
as you guys come up on the mansion grounds here, it's clear that this particular block in general was hit really hard by the looters.
Uh-oh.
And as you come up, kind of around here towards the front door and everything, who had the highest roll, Thistle?
I had 15. I don't know.
Yeah.
If that was the highest.
I had 19.
Oh, 19.
So that may or may not change.
Well, I'm going to give it to both of you, actually. It's crystal clear to you guys. This was not a targeted attack. Like, people were not after Mona. You would guess. Her last name is Vale. Has it ever come up? It's in my notes.
No.
People were not after the Vale mansion specifically. Like, just from the way, like, the glasses on this building and all the ones around it. I mean, you'd wager anything that this was just a random... Your guess is that the servant who got killed was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, or like really over dedicated and like trying to protect the building. But you don't think it was this building specifically. You think it was just there was a lot of looting tonight.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, we've done some of that ourselves. So.
I could be wrong, but that's what your gut says. So
Well, Mona, you are safely home. Good night.
Once you guys are up towards the front door, she drops all pretenses, runs towards the front door, throws it open, and runs inside the house, like at breakneck speed. Like she kicks her heels off as she crosses the threshold so that she can book it. Assuming you're looking in after her, you can see her run up the stairs.
I am going to
And-
make my way cautiously towards the front door. I'm not
And-
actually going to cross. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're okay. I was just going to say, and you can hear her yelling, "Donald, Donald!"
Fair enough.
I will pick up her shoes, because I'm sure she'll want those later.
Okay.
And I will follow in a stately manner.
Yin Mu,
Oh, look at this. I
Yin Mu, they look better on you anyways. So,
There you go. I'm not actually going to cross the threshold, but I am going to do detect evil before I go in.
all right. So she's running up the stairs. I did not draw this map, by the way. I found it on the internet.
That's a nice.
Shout out.
Regardless.
Shout out to whoever the artist is. I do not know, but so I'm sorry. Yenmu, you picked up the shoes, but you haven't went in, right? And then
I am
Are you?
following.
okay, so
Yes.
you're headed in. And Thistle, you're doing detect good and evil.
Detect evil, yep.
Okay, is there any roll on that? Remind me. You just do it, right?
Or divine sense. I'm sorry. I guess it's not technically detect evil.
Oh yeah, this is the one we had the conversation about.
Yeah.
Okay, so it tells you celestial, infernal, or undead, right?
It says a strong evil registers as nasty smelling, good heavenly stuff rings in my ears. It doesn't specifically say anything about undead. I think that's what we. No, it does.
It does.
The location, celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet. I'll know that it's there.
Okay, there's no celestial, there's no undead, and there's no what was the third one? Infernal?
Fiend.
Oh, okay.
Fiend. The only fiend is with you guys.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's the owl too. The owl is technically celestial.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. But you do sense a great evil inside the house,
Okay.
inside the manor.
With that, I'll stride in. I will go ahead and sheathe my weapon, or not sheathe it, but
Draw it. The opposite
not
of sheath.
draw it. Draw it, but
I feel I sense a
set it
great
politely out of an
Oh no,
aggressive
evil.
posture.
Let's put our weapons away.
Yes.
And what are the other two doing?
I rolled a 20, not a nat 20, but just a normal 20.
Uh
An investigation to see what kind of seemed off.
huh. Now, are you going inside the house to investigate, or are you investigating outside on the porch?
I'm investigating outside first because I figured if it's outside, then stay outside. Otherwise, making our way slowly in because I don't want the doors just to slam close and we're stuck and we can't get out.
Okay. You look around, and in the bushes, you actually spot another dead servant. And like the other servant, he's got a bunch of it's just again, this was not like a siege by knights. He's got farming implements stuck in him. He's got it looks like he's been hit with a broken chair over the head. This is just people out of control on the night of the solstice, unfortunately. If there was any kind of specific motivation, you think it might have been an eat the rich kind of thing, where the poor people decided it would be fun to storm into the rich neighborhood and show them who's boss.
Right.
But again, there was no specific target. This is just a night went bad.
All right, then is there anything that I can pull off the guy weapon-wise?
He doesn't have any. It looks like he was trying to defend himself with a candelabra.
Okay.
Which, the one in Beauty and the Beast that sings and dances, only this one doesn't sing and dance. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Thank you. I can't say that word very well. It's weird.
So close. You did so good.
I appreciate it.
Servant outside is dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
Okay.
Yeah, he's dead. He's not mostly dead. He's all dead.
Not
So
much
yeah,
Thistle
I
can do
will
for him.
cautiously go in with the rest of the group, but I'm not too terribly eager.
All right. And
With no sensing of nastiness, Thistle's going to start looking around for anyone that might need help that's still alive.
all right. And Kath, are you going in?
Kath would like to look for any javelins specifically because she's down to 2.
Okay. And are you outside or inside?
Outside, and then if she doesn't see any outside, proceed inside.
You find a pitchfork, not like a double pitchfork, but like a hay pitchfork.
Okay. That doesn't sound like it's as good as my axe.
It is not.
Okay, I'd like to leave that.
I mean, it would hurt. It would hurt somebody if you threw that at them, but it's not like a martial weapon. No.
So can I take that with me?
If you like. Yeah.
gonna
Don't you
take a
feel like you're kind
pitchfork.
of playing into a stereotype though to carry a pitchfork?
Well, if I was chased with it, I'm defying the stereotype.
Eh.
I am the one with the pitchfork.
I was thinking double
Oh,
with a
no, 'cause
pitchfork,
I'm the
but
demon.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm fine with that. I'm gonna grab up the pitchfork.
Okay.
Just borrow a torch from a clip, and if you get in any trouble, you can just try to blend in with the mob.
Right.
No, yeah, we gotta burn those witches and
Burn-
the vampires.
Yeah,
and
get 'em.
all the
Burn
devil
those
people.
tieflings down. Okay. Now Mona's
Fire works really well.
Mona has left you guys and went upstairs. Is anybody following her, or you guys want to explore the other rooms?
I
What are
I
we
think
doing?
That's where Thistle's headed because it sounds like she thinks there's someone upstairs that might need my help.
Okay. So you're headed up. What's everybody else doing? Are you guys exploring rooms? Or are you headed
Yeah.
upstairs?
Yinmu's following Mona.
Okay. All right. And the ladies?
Probably checking out to see what the damage was.
Okay. So
And seeing if there's anything of,
Edible nature.
Value left over.
edible.
you're in the
Sparkly and shiny.
you're in the foyer here. Do you want to stay there? Do you want to move to the grand hall, or do you want to go
I'll
up past that
probably move towards the grand hall. Yes.
where the stairs are?
Yeah.
Okay. And Kef?
Kath would like to hover by the stairs and listen for what's going on upstairs before she kind of commits either way.
Okay, both stairs lead to the same place. Do you want to do this flight or the other flight?
The flight where everyone else went up. Yeah.
All right. So, Yinmu and Thistle, let's move you guys along with Mona to the second set of stairs here.
And as soon as Thistle gets to the second floor, he is going to do a perception check.
Okay. No, that's the opposite of what I wanted to do.
Well, don't do the opposite.
That's what I'm saying.
That's no good.
I agree. C program, Thistle gets me. Okay, that's better.
Oh,
All
here's
right.
the other floor. Okay.
So those two sets of stairs combine on a landing here and then come up. That's how it's laid out.
That's cool.
So you two see that Mona, as you come up, she's just thrown open the door to this drawing room here and rushed inside.
Okay.
Presumably to check on her, whatever, her person. Donald,
Your
yes.
brother.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Duck. Okay.
All right. I thought Thistle was gonna give me a roll, but I haven't heard anything else about it. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just waiting. I thought you were still.
I'm still following.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm ready.
11. I keep no, just 11.
We got about 5 minutes left. By the way, is everybody okay on time?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. 11.
Just 11.
And are you looking for anything specifically?
No, just trying to make sure there's no danger still around that might ambush us because we caught him still looting or something like that.
All right. You don't notice anything except that. Well, there is something that kind of you notice.
Okay.
It's like the downstairs. Obviously, people were recently in it because it's been looted. But now that you're upstairs, it feels kind of dusty. Like, you ever been in a house where like all the furniture still has like the plastic covers on it?
Yeah.
It kind of has that feel like this. It doesn't feel very lived in up here.
Okay.
Might not be her house.
Too bad you guys didn't have some kind of truth spell where you can determine that.
I am gonna do a walk around to the room she went in, but I'm gonna take the long way.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do an investigation, see what I can gather, see if there's any signs of ownership, photos, paintings, stuff
Okay.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, as you walk around, you see portraits and things. You see her as a little girl with her parents. All these have a thick layer of dust on them, but it's clearly her house, and it's clear that she grew up here.
Okay. Once I've done that, I'm not actually going to go into any of the rooms at this point, but I'll go ahead and come into the room where she's at and see if anyone needs assistance there.
Okay, so you want to walk in?
Yes, please.
Okay, and Yinmu, what are you doing? Are you going in as well?
Yeah, I just followed straight in. I'm shaking my head at the state of the help, but like I'm not surprised at this point that they all wandered off.
Okay, so Yinmu,
Like typical.
we're going to cut to you because you went straight in first, so we're going to cut to you before Thistle. You walk in. She has run up to a chair, and it's a big, like, not an easy chair, but like a chair you would see in a study, you know.
Are we wait a minute, are we about to have a psycho moment here?
And there is a figure in the chair, and she has run up, and she's thrown her arms around him. And she's saying, "Oh, Donald, I'm so glad you're okay." But you're kind of looking at it kind of from an angle from the back a little bit, and you can't make out the figure.
Well,
I guess
he's not the
I'll move a
vampire.
little closer to try and see who Donald is.
How close would you like to move, Yinmu?
Who that?
Yinmu's known for how cautious they are. They'll just keep moving forward until they can see Donald.
All right, so you walk up and you peer around the chair, and you see him. It's a corpse.
I dropped the shoes.
And that's where we'll end our game for tonight. Darn you, Ben!
As soon as you stand in the chair and everything was dusty, I was like, "Oh crap, we're gonna have a what's that guy's name?
Norman Bates.
Norman Bates moment." Oh, I love it. I love it.
Well,
Oh,
the important thing is I
fantastic.
found more croissant sandwiches.
That is your true quest, after all.
It is. All right.
Well,
was a
that and
fun
like
game.
cutting people into pieces.
Cleaving them, yes.
Right.
I'm trying to decide if I should wait till after next game to share this with you guys, but I think I can go ahead and say it. So, I thought it would be interesting because, you know, when you roleplay, everybody's used to encounters, like physical encounters, you do a lot of combat, or like puzzle encounters.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be interesting to do like a social encounter with like a really devious opponent that's really good at lying, and you'd have to like really dig into what she's saying with like half truths. And I wrote this huge chart of like
Oh my goodness.
how for her to respond to each question so that you guys like wouldn't be able to read exactly what's going on. Last game you guys asked like 2 questions and then gave up. And then this game I'm like, okay, I made it too hard. I'll throw him a bone. Here's a scroll of truth. Do you want to check the scroll bin? Nah, I'm good. Do you want to use the scroll of truth and like determine? Nah, we're fine. I'm like, okay.
This is where we needed the lawyer powers.
Well, I'm thinking the module's name has deception in it, and so I'm thinking, okay, it's too early to use such a useful item.
You have to save it to the last boss.
Yes.
Right.
I was
There's
that
99
kid in
of them.
Final Fantasy. I was that kid in Final Fantasy that made sure he had one of every item in my inventory at all times, just in case. So, Thistle might have some hoarding issues.
No, it's fine. You guys can't see me, so I'm smiling for the record, but it's fine. The great thing about D&D is you can play it however you want, even poorly. No, seriously though, you're doing great.
We took the DM's elaborate plans and flushed them down the toilet.
That means we're doing our job, right?
That's right.
I don't even care about that. I just like, I hope they're having fun since they're not doing any of the things I planned on. We also didn't do the elaborate rooftop back alley chase because you guys wanted to stick to the open streets and like challenge every encounter head on. So I was like, let's do that.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. All right, new plan, guys. This guy's clearly dead. Mona's clearly crazy. Let's just go loot the market.
We burned through all of our... It was timed out properly because we burned through all of our healing. Like, if we'd have ran into one more thing between no more healing and most of us being sick at this point.
Right.
Yeah. I'm still... I don't have any left either, do I? Because I used all mine on that.
Yep. That's right. It's a good thing there'll be no more encounters now.
Yeah, no more encounters, right? Nothing bad will happen in this clearly fantastic manner.
This kind lady is going to say thank you and pay you.
Give us our due reward.
And then you all can come to my house.
Hey, and play video games.
In hell. I'd be like, hey guys, these are my new friends. They're gonna join us. And we're gonna wrestle and drink beer, and it's gonna be great.